Afternoon. Good, have it. Let's do another minute. Okay, we start. Just going to start with a slightly lighter note. Don't know if you had it in this country. When I was a kid and you ate to the eggs, you used to say you're going to get egg bound. They've had that over here. It's just a bit of fun, yeah. Just think of that. I got Zoom this morning, Zoom at lunch, and now Zoom again. I think I'm getting a bit Zoom bound. I quite enjoy it though. It's totally fun, but just sort of reason I thought I'd share that important ditty with you. Okay, yeah. Do you have that? Do you have over here? You said to your kids, hey, you need more eggs, you get egg bound. You did. This is I was a kid anyway. Well, anyway, moving along. Let's have a look what's happening here. Daily tells me nothing. Graphing around all over the place, doesn't know what's happening. Right. Yeah, I just want to go through a quick article, but not too long, just to basically, I'd like you to see it because it basically backs up with what we've been saying as well. Before we do that, just want to have a look at a couple of things we've got out so far. GBP JPY. GBP gave us some jip, but it's fast to start to come right. Yep, it's coming right. So got it at 162.65. Flirted with the stop loss at 44, as you can see on the 15-minute chart. And here we go again. Now we're getting seriously a bit on the annoyed and worried side, I think. But it just managed to hold in at 44, quite a wide. Sorry, 162.65. Beg your pardon. 44. Getting a little bit on the nervous side to say BBB giving us jip, jib giving us jip. Anyway, I can smile a bit now because we're now into profit. 30 pips. Okay, I know it's not the US dollar, but these markets worry me. I'd like to keep a decent. I think it might be just to change the tune a bit and put the stop in at 162.65 or entry. Be a hell of annoying if you get stopped. The zero, loss zero, profit zero, basically. And then it comes down and hits your TP. But at the moment, it's a bit of a worry and just not, advice might be a strong word, maybe a mild suggestion, up to you whether you take it or not, to at least decrease your stop a little bit to reduce risk. But if you want to get it down to your entry at 162.65 or round about that level, it might be an idea just to protect yourself from these rather crazy ups and downs. Just suggested, a mild suggestion. I'm going to take it. Okay, what else? We also did, this was yesterday, someone came up with it. I don't think it was me, I don't know who came up with it, but anyway, it seemed to be written down here for some reason. GBPN, it was a buy, no, that's why I was against it. I was a bit worried it was overbought. A lot of people liked it, so put it down. 97.38, yeah, well, not so wise. So that's one time a piece of advice was actually not too bad. to not do it, but a couple of guys said no, they want to do it. You might just say no. It's your money, your choice. Your choice, guys. Yeah, freedom, free life, as try to say. Yeah. So if you did go for that one, I clearly did not. So I couldn't remember where it came from, but I said didn't do it. I'm afraid you wouldn't be too happy now. Right. So you're going to turn around, Gerard, and say, well, about selling it. More likely is a sell at the moment. I'm going to be honest with you, Gerard. I'm a very nervous camper at the moment. I'm leaning towards that, but I'm looking. Maybe I'm getting a bit on the old age side. I'm looking for a reason not to than to actually do it. And my not to areas is just come down. What are we on now? 15-minute chart. Make it an hour chart to get a better perspective. Come down now in the last hour or so, around about 66 pips. A little bit, not much, a little bit. Not really. It has broken through there. I get that. Opened up below that on the hourly one. It might get a bit of profit taking retracement. It's hovering around the 97 mark. It's a round figure. Remember the psychology area of support was just a round figure. Remember that? Might get a bit of a profit taking bounce. I agree with the sell, by the way. I'm not disputing that. Definitely agree with the sell. I just think might get a better price. Your call anyway. Just to get a slightly better price and then maybe take it down, even as the buy zone. I think it's going to last forever there. Look at the weekly. Yeah, I think I might hold. Daily again. Yep. 4 hour. Ooh. I agree with the sell, but rather better price. But I didn't take it. I'm not going to do it anyway, so I think I'll leave it. But I'm inclined to agree with you, Gerard, but probably a better price. So let's see if it's 197 holds. If it fails, then maybe you can go for it. I think just keep an eye on it. I'll come back to it. Right. US dollar CAD. That was another one we came out with. When was that now? 2 days ago, I think it was. We now Wednesday, right? Monday, I think that was. Yeah, that was Monday. US dollar CAD. It's now at 15. We've got at 3666. That's what 34, 39 for about 50 pips. Just about 50 pips in profit. I mentioned this morning, if you want, suggest modify your stop loss to better than break even, cover your costs, maybe a round or two profit, I don't know. But at least protect yourself. But anyway, it's going the right way. So all of them is whinging and doom and gloom. Not too bad so far. UPJPY, even gives a bit of hassle earlier on. US dollar CAD, not too bad. Some guys went the GBP USD as a buy. I was against that. See how it worked out. 22.55, 1.2255. Let's see what happened there. Yeah, well, there you are. Not too good. I remember I was pointedly against that, but I could be wrong. And you guys now learning enough to make your own minds up. And you thought the buy area could get some more upside. I said, for what it's worth, I'm not too keen. Could still work out. I don't think you stopped out. You might still come right. 2165 stop loss. My worry is now, what's the time now? 4 hours time. Get a major interest rate announcement, which I want to spend a little bit more time on. That's one of the benefits of trading. We know about this. Guaranteed a lot of guys out there don't know about this. And I think they're going to get caught. I know some guys are pretty heavy in the NAS, not to what micros here, heavily in the NAS. Overexposed, in my opinion, even without they might come right and have a happy Christmas, early Christmas. I'm not over sure on that. We shall see. Anyway, not so pretty at the moment. Be careful what's coming up, those who took that one. We got an AUD USD, which I thought was okay-ish. If it's in profit, start protecting yourself. What are we getting on this one? 67.10. That last was a bit of a profit there. Thank goodness for that. Okay, so that's 25 and 10 is 35 pips in profit. Plus PAL coming up. Strongly suggest you protect yourself if you're in this trade. If you're out, obviously it's irrelevant. Didn't take it, clearly irrelevant. But if you're in the trade and you got in at the trading idea, which we did which I was pro on this one, 67.10, get your stop loss to cover costs. So if you got it 10, maybe make it around figure or something, 67. I don't know. But whatever you do, protect yourself. You don't want to get caught with your pants down. And if you do, you're not going to make any money. But if it goes your way, you're going to make some decent tom, maybe, unless you get a whipsaw effect. But protect yourself. Okay. Hope we're all good on that one. Hope you're happy with my what I talked about on the GBNZD. Hope you're happy with that. If not, please say, we can discuss. We're a democrat here, we learn. We're not trying to catch each other out, show who's clever. We're here to learn from everybody. And believe you me, as you've seen in the past, I've got a few wrong, you've got them right, guys. And no, that I didn't know that. I picked that up. I've forgotten about that. Thanks very much. Just this morning, 10:45 said Anna Marie, Euro's coming out. Bloody hell, I was talking about a euro. I'd forgotten. I looked at it this morning, but slipped my mind. Yeah, great. Working together for team, hey. Right. So where we go? So the trades we got out officially to the people, the trading room. Well, ones I backed anyway seem to be okay. And unfortunately, as the one I wasn't in favour of, looks like this time I seem to be on the correct side. So I'll shut my mouth off a little bit about that. Okay, right. Try and keep the sense of humour by not going too big. Okay, that's about it. Okay, gold's doing absolute sod all, no surprise there. I thought might be worthwhile, maybe for a highly aggressive punt, taking a bit of a buy for a bit of a bounce because it so came off so much. But obviously, the haven't grasped that. Around about 1940, I mentioned it. But trades out there are really scared. It's not even budged 5. Let's have a look. Actually, I'll do it this way instead. What's it moved today? 16 hours old. It's moved a bit more than I expected, about $10. Looks less than that, but still, that's pretty nothing. You know what I mean? And not in any particular direction. So there's a lot of nerves out there, understandably so. Okay, the NAS and the Dow just dancing around the maypole, as they say. Probably better on the 1 hour chart. Yeah, dancing around the maypole. No surprise there. Boring, but at least it's not surprising. When you get people like, clever people like Farnias, why is that happening? And I put my hand up and say, I don't know. Oh no. Yeah, so at least I don't know. At least as expected, dancing around the maypole, see what happens there. Okay, before we start about tonight's show at 8 o'clock, any questions? Anyone you want to go through quickly on something? Some of the guys did attend my little one session, my Zoom lounge session about the micros on the major 2 US indices. I take it, hope it was clearly put so you'll understand the difference and why, if you want to trade those two, it's beneficial to have it. Anything want to be brought up on that can be mentioned. Oh, okay.
Anything on shares?
Oh, yeah, sure. Good point, yeah. The Microsoft we're already in, don't chase it now. Certainly, I'm worried about even chasing shares. Remember, indexes are parcel of shares making up the index. It's basically a benchmark for reference to people doing equity wealth management. We call them AM, alpha and beta shares. And we've got the standard deviations from central index and all sorts of fun things like that to work out the movement of shares within that index. Bottom line is, if the index comes off, it's likely majority will follow that momentum. If it goes up, same story. So Netflix is hovering. Tesla is, I think it's going to come off. Quite right, you guys weren't too keen, as it turned out quite right. In fact, I know 1 or 2 guys actually bought it. Well, buddy done, it did okay. One of the guys asked me today, I bought it, I mean, a nice one, what do you think? And I said, I'll have to wait till opening. Clearly, I think 200 is going to hold. Well, as it turns out, it did hold. Yeah, take the word for it. I said before. I didn't say it in retrospect, I said beforehand. I promise. Not cheating. But yeah, so I said probably get out at 200, or certainly by wide stop. And I said in August, probably get out at 200. I think we'll come back Saturday. Pull back from here, probably. Don't know. Don't do it because of Powell. Same story across the board, at my opinion at the moment. Don't get too cute. I mentioned gold. That's the same sort of thing. Why is that happening? Powell. Meta, why is it happening? Powell. You get the idea. So if you're a bit nervous again, the US dollar euro, or you get nervous again the NAS, why would you suddenly go into a share? I think rather sit tight on that. You mainly get boring days, but rather got boring and don't make any money than don't be boring. All right, you might get lucky, but that's not really the way to go. Okay. If you want to get lucky, mortgage your house, put it on red. Comes up, you've got two houses. Problems if black comes up, then you've got a problem. Well, I tell you what, Fardy, two problems you'll have. You've got no house and you're on the street, and your wife will not be a happy chappy. So rather don't do that. And she'd probably be a happy chappy even if you had two houses. How can you risk all we got? But I've got two houses. How can you do that? So you're probably in a lose-lose situation. My strongest piece of financial advice is don't mortgage a house and put it on red in the casino. There you are.
No, it's true. But I did have a look and I did go in for a short on Baba. I think it's due to go to turn around because it reached a fairly peak this or after opening.
Yeah, I don't have too much of a problem with that, to be honest. I mean, let's be honest, you're wise enough now. We were saying in England, old and ugly enough. It means it's a compliment, by the way. Don't take it the wrong way. But you're old and ugly enough now, which means you're wise enough to realize the position sizing and the risks involved. My problem is a lot of guys aren't aware of that, so I'm going to be very careful where I push forward. You know what I'm saying? Like driving instructor with no pupil sitting next to him drives very differently than when the pupil is sitting next to him, you get my point. So having said that, yeah, well, that's a pretty obvious downtrend. I mean, you'd have to be basically seriously visionary impaired not to see that's a downtrend. So, and it's bounced up. So yeah, if you like, but I'm not going to advise it as a trade idea. But yeah, I don't have a problem with that. Yeah, personally speaking, I won't say, oh my goodness, how can you do that? You know, no problem. Okay, fair enough. Good enough. As we always say, my dad used to say, when you know the score, you know the rules, and you know enough to win to break them. Okay.
Okay. Point taken.
Be careful, and sometimes it falls to the brave. I've done a few things myself, sometimes right, sometimes not. I knew I was not doing the normal way by doing it, but sometimes came off. Just maybe a gut feeling can work. Okay, so I think from that point of view, moving on from shares, just wait till tomorrow, have another look and see what else you can bring. No problem, Derek. You understood you about 4:15, you mentioned that for a while anyway. That's quite understandable. Not what happened today, I hope he's not in here. Came in about 20 to 2 today to learn about it and asked me if we could stop and go over it all again. Hey, you know, no. Yeah. Can you imagine coming three quarters through the meeting late, expected the meeting started all over because you came in without any particular reason? No, I'm sorry, mate, go to the next one. Okay, but that's not a problem. 4:15, fine. You know the score anyway, you'll pick it up. Nothing particularly you've missed, just went through the bits and pieces we've got out at the moment. 3 trades are in, modify the stock. If you're in them, that's the GBP JPY. If you're in it, modify your stock to make sure you're not under risk when power comes up. US dollar CAD, if you're in that one, modify to make sure you take the risk out of it. And AUD USD, modify to take the risk out of it. Those 3 are doing good enough that you can do that. And there's enough gap there still in case something goes wrong with the power and you're on board if something goes right. You know what I mean? 2 ones pro again that I was against. Was a buy of GBP USD and the buy of GBP NZD. I was against them, and it turns out this stage of the game they come off quite a bit. So anyway, so be it. Right, let's move on. You know, trade at the moment, there no problem. Stick that way just for the moment. Unless somebody comes up with the one I've missed, we'll look at it good. But Dad's going to be in gold, a share, an indices, or a dollar. I very much doubt it. Maybe the Canadian I'm a bit wary of as well, to be honest, because that often follows the US dollar. Right, if we just got a second, just want to read something out to you. It's a bit sort of linguistic stuff, but I just want to read it out to you. Give me a second to back up. It's not very long. Less than 2 weeks ago, SVP failed. We know that. We were banking crisis unfolding. We know about that. On Wednesday, markets will hear, we know all about that, from the Fed for the first time. The US central bank must also announce its monetary policy decision and release new macroeconomic forecasts. Following Fed Chair Powell's testimony before the Senate 2 weeks ago, markets start to consider the possibility of a larger rate hike in March, which is again we know tonight, reinforced the view of higher for longer interest rates. A few days later, thanks to the banking turmoil, a 50 basis point hike is off the table, and the odds for a no change are not irrelevant. Now, as we've mentioned this morning, 25 is likely, but 0% is not irrelevant. Rate cuts before the year end are priced in. So before it's unlikely, it looks like they might be priced in. Going on, there's been a shock. This is the point I've been whinging about, so don't say I'm just making excuses, not just me thinking of that. There's been a shock, and market participants are still figuring out how it could hit the economy, employment, and inflation. Now, these guys got a string of degrees, brilliant people, all string together, and they're figuring out how they can hit the economy, employment, and inflation. Well, you know, in all humility, if they're battling, maybe we should be battling a little bit ourselves, give ourselves a break there. The Fed is also doing the same, but there's considerable uncertainty for all. No, sorry, kidding. If the Fed reacts on Wednesday, showing that it is very concerned, keeps rates unchanged because of the current crisis, listen to this, it would probably not trigger a celebration. That means 0% interest. Remember that when I say unchanged is no increase at all. It will not, probably not trigger a celebration, but mostly likely spread fear to markets, triggering sharp declines in the stock, send the US dollar initially down, but then sharply higher amid systematic risk fears. That will obviously, gold is one thing you want to be on board with, that will obviously go up. I'm saying that, it's not saying the article. It happened during the 2008 financial crisis. That's when we had the Lehman Brothers situation. Remember that, those old enough to do that 15 years ago. The problem for the FOMC, Federal Open Market Committee, is that they have to decide and project amid too many uncertainties surrounding the outlook. What have I been going on about? The market knows what the central bank says on Wednesday is soon absorbed, unless it's something that shocks. So in other words, anything that's sort of mitigating or soft soaping and soon absorb it, then probably going on into uncertainty, unless it is something outside that shocks. So if it's 0, I still think that's going to cause a lot of shocks. If it's 0.5%, a lot of shocks. I even think if it comes out the expected 25 BPS, I still think there's going to be some jumping around. Then afterwards, it's not like the non-farms or the CPI, not a figure being released, and that's the end of that. No, Q&A comes afterwards. So be very careful. If you're a lucky guy, well, ride your luck. If you're not that lucky, you're not 100% sure of your luck, rather be very careful. I don't say afterwards, oh, if only I did this. Yeah, of course, yeah, if you knew, you'd have done it. But what happens, but you didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Because that's quite often happens with guys who turn around and say, if I've only gone in bigger, he wins. But what happens in lost? Oh, I've only gone in smaller. You only do that afterwards. So, yeah, as I've been saying for a while now, and the bank situation with Credit Suisse and the Silicon Valley one, and the other ones as well, and One Republic and those sort of guys now are creating a lot. And it's, I said this morning, it's tough on Powell. I wouldn't envy his job at all. It's like, I know how much they're paid, but a penalty shootout and your turn to kick the final penalty in the World Cup final in football, and that if you miss, you lose the World Cup. If you win, you're on top of the world. I wouldn't be the person who'd like to take that, however good I am, that kick. That's kind of pressure. You get my point. Okay, so no problem there, Derek. If you're out the market, you're all square, and stay that way for the moment. Well, it's not a problem if you're in and you're in profits, modify your stop. That's not the issue. If you're in Brent, stay with it. For God's sake, don't get out of Brent. You got it at 70, 80, 70, 90, whatever the signal was. You're up nearly $4 a barrel. You're doing nicely. Just move your stop up to maybe 73. If you're in Brent and you haven't been in the trading room this morning or yesterday afternoon, then suggest you move your stop up to 73 and let it ride. You might do well. If not, you make money anyway. That's not a problem. I'm talking about going to new stuff now. And if you are in, especially dollar related, it's a nice profit. Make sure you got your stock protecting you before the turmoil, expected turmoil, starts at 8 o'clock. Okay, all good? But don't enter it, Brent. You know, something's going about what do you buy it for? You said, no, I didn't. I said modify. I didn't say buy new, modify. But if, yeah, Barbara, it's okay if you want to do it. Yeah, happy with that. Okay, it's probably dancing around a bit, 15-minute chart. Okay, so if you can find a trade, good news. I will have a look at it, maybe. But, maybe we can use this a bit of Q&A. So I just give you some information there. We explained about what hedging and the purpose of the derivative, the financial market, etc. Yeah. And any questions on derivatives and leverage trading, or what it is, how to discover the margin is, anything like that, we can go over. Anything more advanced you want to ask? If I know the answer, I'll obviously give it. But maybe do a bit of stuff like that if you like. If you find a trade, whoopee, we'll have a look at it. You found whoever found the JPY, who was that? Was that you found it? No, was it Marius? Wasn't me anyway, but I quite like that. Anyway, it seems to be doing fine.
I put my hand up for the GBP JPY.
Oh, well done. I put it down. Well bloody done. Yeah. Back that was your idea. Thank you. It's doing well. So, yeah. So, anybody out there? Something doesn't matter if we say no, we disagree, or you said long, we think it's short. You came up, you draw attention to it. That's the main thing. Nobody's going to laugh. If they do, they will exclude the trading room. What? Not you remember the three musketeers, all for one, one for all? Well, all for one and one for all. That we got here about 20 at the moment, not that many, but no, we got 50 musketeers put them together. Okay. You ever see the Shawshank Redemption? Great film. And one of the not a very highly educated prisoner there, and says, "Who wrote that Three Musketeers?" And the guys, and you saw the name of the guy. He says, "Alexandre, dumbass. What sort of goddamn name is that?" Alexander Dumas. Alexander, dumbass. So I just never saw that go around. Just lightening it up a bit. It's quite amusing. Anyway. Okay. All right, moving on. So yeah, just do. I think everyone knows this now. Just check the people; they've all got the economic calendar. Did I see any new names? No, I think everyone's got it. Just in case, I'm going to put it on. Just in case. That takes 2 seconds, but I think you've all got it now. We often get a new person coming in, which is good. We're encouraging it. I wish more came in, and then maybe cut out some of the mistakes they're making. Tough enough doing the market without making funny mistakes, eh? And this is the dollar index. Just do that quickly. I think you've all, just a second. I think you've all got my number, but I'll put it on anyway. It's usually mentioned by the account managers anyway, but I'll have it there. Or put the WhatsApp, remember? Try to keep it sharp and sweet and to the point. 061 129 3431. Yeah. Okay. Just remember, if you've got more than 2.5, I'll put you on the VIP for more signals. If you have a moment, don't sweat. When you have, just let me know. Oh, Anne-Marie, that's it. Sorry, just give me a second. I'll just take Anne-Marie off the QT group. Can't have these women without Porsches and mixing with us, eh? But then she comes back. I haven't got a Porsche, she said, but I've got 2 Porsches. Don't shut me up. Or Porsche, should I say? Oh, absolutely, yeah. I tell you, I'll introduce that. If you're actually gorgeous, I'll let you off. I'll let you off the what should we call it? Off the that's the right word now. Having a Porsche, we can have a bicycle. Okay, that's fair enough. Doesn't help you guys, though, unfortunately. Don't care how many ports you got. Forget it.
Roger, a question.
Please, definitely. Stop me talking rubbish.
With the interest rate announced, and we do not have 100 or 200 pips between the stop loss and the existing price requested, as well as on the Dow, 300 pips. What's the chances of getting knocked out in a noise?
I hate to say it, my friend, could be. Let's go to the Dow. That did just 900 pips in a day. Okay. Yeah. So I hate to say that, my friend, could do. If it's drastic and the market's panic, yeah, no problem. I've seen the euro dollar, and that's far more stable. One of the more stable ones, chewed up 150 on the jobs report that came out wildly different to expected. And that ain't the Nasdaq, and certainly ain't the Dow. I'm afraid it could, yeah. Could go in your favor. You can make a quick killing. But yeah, I'm afraid that's the case, yeah. You got your stop. To that. So go on.
Because even currently on the NAS, I'm about 50 pips away from my stop loss, and I start getting the jips even more than that.
Yeah, yeah. I can't lie to you, my friend. Yeah, it might do you a big favor. I personally think the downside's expected. Any fear, any panic, you're going to sell rather than buy. So it should be in your favor. But if he comes out with something, some Q&A, I don't know what he's going to say, that somehow is going to benefit a jump of 300. What it could be, I don't for the life of me know, but it doesn't mean to say it won't exist. But, you know, if I was long, I'd be more nervous than I was short. But it could certainly happen. But I think, to be honest, the likelihood is any big movements is likely that it might be more down than that. But we shall see. You don't quote me tomorrow if it shoots up to, I don't know, 33,000 or something. But I'm going to be a little bit surprised why you have to come up with something good for them to celebrate. I mean, you look at yourself, you know, worries about the banks, worry about inflation, worry about world debt, you know, climate change. I know there's more complete even the Democrats are complete supportive of the person in charge of the free world, Mr. Joe Biden. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of ANC guys been voting ANC for a long time, and now thinking, will they vote ANC again? Sort of practice. They're not happy with the leadership, not the party or the struggle or the things behind it. The leadership, same thing over there. So there'll still be liberal Democrats, but they just don't like this guy at all. In fact, I personally think unless Michelle Obama runs, maybe Oprah Winfrey runs, I think they're going to get smacked at the next election, which is next year, November. They're going to get smacked. With these two, Kamala Harris and Biden holding it, and I can't see how anybody with IQ over 10 can support them yet again. Plus, the guy's senile. Another 4 years, you must be joking. And that's a pretty bad consolation prize, the VP, you know what I'm saying? So if Michelle Obama puts forward, that'll be a different story. She'd probably swing it. Young, intelligence, the whole world, and female and black, the whole thing. You know what I mean? What a pleasure. That was doing it. But don't think she's keen. After being married to someone stuck with that kind of pressure 8 years, she probably wouldn't take it on herself. Anyway, we'll see. Okay, what came out just now? I thought it was 5:30. Came out 4:30. That's a Cushing oil crude inventories. That's a 2-star. The bigger one should come up. Oh, you dickhead. It's caused an hour change in the clocks. It's not 5:05 anymore. It's 4:05. About that. Of course, it's 4:04 and 5:05. Oh, right. Let's have a look at it. Good point. Oh, yes. Supply and demand. Yeah, supply and demand. That's interesting. Minus 1.6, expected minus 1.06 rather, expected 1 minus. So it's not as bad as expected. So that means a bit more supply. Should have maybe a bit of a downside actually. It's interesting. Market just maybe they haven't worked out the maths themselves, those guys. They've got the maths wrong. In theory, it's slightly more supply than expected. Expect the supply be down, but it actually turned out to be less down than expected. That not very brilliant English, you know what I mean? But never mind, whatever happens, that's the result. That's not up for argument. Thank you about that. So what a pleasure. Okay, that's now 75. Do you want to move it up to 74? Guys in it? If you're in Brent, guys, what about putting up to 74? There you are. Building your profit. Doing okay. Nice to have that trade doing well. Had a bit of a bad couple of weeks. We've got a few going well. That's good to know. Back to the normal areas of winners, which we're used to and like enjoy so much. Okay. What was that? What we were talking about there. Yeah. Yeah, going back to what you're saying finally, I'm sorry it could happen in the Dow, but I'm just me personally, I'm angling more the likelihood is likely down than up, but we shall see. Okay. But I can't lie and say, oh, no, that's not going to happen. Yeah, good.
Thank you.
Okay. Someone's getting married, yeah. Okay, remember your own positions, especially any dollar open position like AUD, USD. Strongly suggest you protect yourself by modifying your stop loss. I mentioned it as a reminder. Got numbers, etc. Got position size calculators. Make sure I try and keep up to date on that one. Don't want anyone coming to the trading room not having the trade calculator, and that's why I remind everybody. If you don't come, that's your choice. But if you do, make sure you get that calculator so you know what you're in for when you enter and press the button to enter. Very important. Okay, good stuff. Microsoft now? It's probably stopped me out now. Modified to 75. What a pity, it was doing good of it. I modified to 75. Stopped me out. Anyway, that's a profit, but that's okay. Is Netflix taking out 200 or I'm off a bit? What? Oh, 300, sorry. Not Netflix, I think of Tesla, sorry. A neat job there. What happened there? Yeah, 200 seems to be holding. Don't do anything with it now. Unless you're a complete gambler, if you're going to really want a big punt, aggressive punt, I'd rather be selling and buying it, but come out not seeing the funny side of it. Netflix is another one. I'm in that one, or in it, so it is. I'm not going to get out of it. It's actually pretty much 302, I think. So for some reason now it seems to be about break even. So, all right. So yeah, so there it is. Okay. Any questions? Derek, Ilan, some of the other guys? Brian, Badrunisa. Any questions there? Anything you want to just go over? I've gone with too quick. Anyone just spend some time if you like, because unless you come up with something, I doubt we're going to get many brilliant trades coming out with this Mr. Powell hanging over like the sword of Damocles over our heads. So yeah. Anything you're not sure of, you want to discuss, or just run it by again, you're talking too quickly or whatever? How do you get the calculator? Just put up your name again, your number again, or calendar again, or anything. Well, in a way, that should be good news. It means you've got most of the stuff we talked about. That's good. You've all saved your charts. You all know how to save your charts. If you lose them, you know how to get them back. If you haven't, I'll show you again. And you can always set your charts up quite simply. Right-click properties and set up as you like. Quite simple then, or save it. Quickly do that just in case. Save it. Don't forget to save your templates. So there they are down there. You're in business. Okay. You understand now the difference between the micro and the normal NAS and Dow. If you don't, quickly go over it. As we mentioned this morning, Good Friday, I'm happy to do it. Holiday or no holiday, I'm happy to do a non-farm payrolls session, which will be opening just before 2 for the 2:30 release. Nobody wants to go to it, obviously I'm going to do it. But I mean, I'm happy to do it, even though it is a Good Friday. And of course, almost certainly, why I would not do it, the officers have to come out with a very good reason why not. The following Wednesday, days after Easter Monday, CPI. So I don't know if you guys know about that and want to support us in that. We're doing the straddle trade to trade those two big fundamental releases and take it from there. Wow, I think probably what they mean is what we got on here. It's a demand zone up here, it's a supply zone down there, supposing there's an oversupply down there and the supply up here. That's probably really the zone. Well, I don't know, it seems to be really just supply and demand. If there's an oversupply of any particular currency, it'll weaken and vice versa, I suppose. Not a bad one, Kevin. To be honest, not a bad one. I tell you why it's not so bad either. A lot of people actually believe in this. Most of the time, because the Japanese, a very big economy, open. And some guys, especially if the yen's involved, like opening it up because obviously you get more activity in the yen, because that's when those guys, well, flat in South Africa, you get trading the rand and US on the dollar and Canadian. You get the idea, obviously. So I think it's one now o'clock, I think it is 1 or 2 o'clock. I'm still snoring at that time, where the Japanese open and get an idea. Because another thing is you often get, you know, where they say, here's a good area to get out. And the guys, the pupil, the teaching, and you're a pupil, they don't often say, but to get out at that price, you'd have to be up because it happened at 3 o'clock in the morning when you're fast asleep. You know what I mean? So it's not a daft thing to say, far from it. If you can be bothered, you're keen enough, and you can get back to solid sleep again. Sometimes I'm not even do that. I often wake up myself at 2 in the morning, and I quickly, obviously, first thing I do, it's all handy there, just quickly check it out on the phone. Don't have the computer, by the way, just check it out on the phone. Not a bad idea. As I say, but some guys would go up there and that's all they trade the Japanese markets and they sleep during the day. You get the idea. Not a bad idea. That I do not think is wise, no. Sorry, Derek, no. Nope, I don't. And I'll show you why not. Give it a shot and give us feedback. In the 4 o'clock session, because you're probably fast asleep at 9:30 if you got up by that time. But joking apart, if you're up with that, give us feedback. That's a bad idea. Right, where we're going to aim. There's a 200 on here. There, okay, fine. Where we're going to aim. Well, the original one's 80. Maybe push it a bit. I think you still stick to $80. Quite a bit of resistance there. This guy, sorry, this guy on the body, you know. $80. So this is now $4.50 away. Where are you going to put your stop? Too close, too close, too close on the daily. The best place to put your stop, even that, I prefer below this guy here. If you put it just down here, that's $4.30, and you take it up to 80. That's $4, 1 to 1. If you want to do that, it's up to you. I think not. If you're pushing your luck, it might get back there, and then you can squeeze it if you're aiming for $82, $83. Been there before? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days ago. Might do that. A lot of minefields in between. They're rising all the way back up there at the moment. It's going to take some different fundamentals to push it there, which are unknowns. It's not wrong to do it now. I'm just advising you don't. I think there's not enough meat in the bones for the risk involved, the unknowns involved. 70, 80, 79 was the correct one. Modified stops the correct strategy. Hang on in there till you stopped out, quick one. If you took your profit too early, you're annoyed with yourself. My tip to you, stay annoyed with yourself, but don't try and jump in again to make up for it. Yeah. Not enough meat in the bones. It's like buying crab. Anyone eating crab? you really have to find crab delicious for the performance of getting at the meat in it. I've been crab before a couple of times and quite like it, but like the performance getting at the meat, unless I'm not skilled at it, I don't know. And the side plate is just full of all the other shell and stuff. Not enough meat in the bones. So yeah, that's my take. Anyone disagree with me? Do you think, Derek? What about you guys? Come on, let's not one person show this. What do you guys think? Think Derek should be buying Brent now? Let's have a couple of opinions. Do you think he should be shorting Brent now? What do you think? Or staying out? I could be wrong. That's my take. I could be wrong. Any comments there? Mr. Schumer, what about yourself? Brian, do you think it might be an idea to go into Brent in a moment? What do you think? Kerry, Jacob, Knowledge, what do you think? Yeah, still in, that's fine. I'm not going in now. Any comments, or are we going along the leave it alone scenario on this one? Trying to get you guys to get involved and have your opinions. They are valid. No, not about that. No. Definitely might. Yeah, leave it alone. I'm happy to stay annoyed with myself. I like it, Brian. You're still in, so you'll find Jacob, missed the entry, leaving it. He's probably leave it alone, be annoyed himself. I agree. Putting a high entry in is never a good idea. I hate to say it, my friend, this is not very scientific. I'm a great believer in Sod's law, commentator's curse, Murphy's law, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to go in big this time because I'm very confident about it. That's usually the one that I should go. Out of the three you pick, that one that gives the worst result. Ellie's batting well. Ellie's playing well. That's usually when they trip over and break a leg or something. No, I'm not. As you say, in Augusta, we don't encourage you to do that. I mean, if you do that, you're fired from Augusta or the golf club. We don't encourage it. So no, I don't encourage it. Suppose you all heard of Augusta in the big golf club. If you want to find about snobbery, that's about as high up the ladder as snobbery ever come across. If you ask, even if you're a billionaire, ask to join, you'll never be a member. You've got to be invited. Oh, unbelievable. Yeah, we don't encourage it. It means you do that again, mate, your membership will be withheld. Still going up, it is indeed, yeah, still going up. Yeah, so modify your stop to 74, and now you build a nice profit, whatever happens. Pick around, it might the TP at 80. And Brian and Derek are getting more and more fed up as it happens. Okay, right. All good, guys? Solly, Tapello, all good? Right, let's have a look. What about our GBP JPY? Bouncing, see what I mean? Well, it's actually doing better. Sorry, I thought it was 163. It's 162. What a pleasure. That's doing just nicely, eh? So that's a beaut. That was one of my better ideas, eh, Farney? You didn't want to do that. And I said, no, we must do it. Oh, no, wrong way around. No, I didn't.
No, Uncle, you're right. Best idea you had for the day.
Yeah. No, that wasn't mine, but I have to say, no, I did agree with the story. Thank you. It's a beaut. Gave us a bit of jip. The GBP gave us a bit of jip. Jib gave us jip. But yeah, it's doing nicely. But now 50 odd pips and more in profit. Make sure you got your stop protecting. I'll fire you all instantly and all your friends instantly if you take a loss on this one now. It's a nice one. Well done. Thank you. Good stuff, Capello. What the other one we had out was the US dollar CAD jumping around. Be very careful of that one. Both of them are high risk coming into the power scenario. High risk. Is it still doing okay? No, it's not. That's not bad. It's okay. It's 40 pips. Please, I beg of you, make sure you modify to take out the risk on that one. High risk. You might come right with a sudden bleep up, but it might bleep down. You don't want to take a loss on that. You're going to be highly fed up. Remember a couple of weeks ago on the GBP, we have 20 pips in profit. My mistake. Remember, I apologized to you guys and I remember Amri bringing it up, suggested, bring the stop in place, which had modified the 20 pips. We'd have broken even instead of taking a smack on the hip. That's SL. So protect. The other one we got out is AUD USD. That's also a dollar denominated. So again, be very careful. We're in profit, we were, so look. That was again 67.10. Okay, unfortunately, it's only 25 pips away. I hope we don't get stopped out, but being extremely cautious on what's happened the last couple of weeks with all this economic turmoil that's happening at the moment. Modify your stop. Make sure you're not going to get hurt due to what's going to happen later on. Okay. Please don't cry tomorrow. You lost a nose. Good afternoon, Tuna. I'm sorry to say I'm actually in the trading room as a host at the moment, and I'll only be finished at 5:30. So I'm obviously dealing with that at the moment. If you need to chat to me, what a pleasure. Could you make it just after 5:30? Would that be all right? Okay. Thanks, Ed. Bye. Sorry, Mark just asked something. Mark Shearer, just to say, check on the WhatsApp there. Did any of you guys have problems? That's Mark, you're Mark Shearer, and he's an IT guy, can't seem to connect. Was it open? Very much so. I don't know why you can't connect. Anybody had any problems today? You had to change it around to do anything to join today, or was it normal? Normal. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Prompt response to there. Because he's a regular and he adds a lot of value. Oh, I can't connect. No. So yeah, protect on those. That's about 10 before, just a reminder. You're protected on Brent. So we're getting some good trades out there, believe it or not, after the turmoil we've had. But remember the Dow we had the other day, we've had a couple of brilliant Dows. This one's not so pretty at the moment, just admit. But it might come right.
Roger, I'm still in along with Amazon, and I see that they are going to get, how do they put it, reduce their workforce by 18,000. So everybody's thinking the price going to be increased, but I'm already there now for a week, and it's very, very iffy.
Yeah. Well, in the normal world, when you fire a large amount of people and well-paid jobs that Amazon have, they're not exactly hamburger flippers, you get my point. So as a resultant, it normally would have a decent upside. My worry is this. All due respect, Farn, if you know about that, everybody knows about it. Remember I mentioned before, the Bloombergs, the Goldman Sachs, the JP Morgans, these guys get the information way before you do. So if you know, a concrete guarantee they know, the market's not closed, it's open. So if it's so wonderful, why is it not 110 or something? The fact it's still ambling along on the 1 hour means that's being discounted into the price. I would therefore, on that I would say, what price you got into, modify your stop loss, make sure you're not caught in the Powell scenario later on. You should have got in around about, what do you get, about 95, 96, 97? What price do you get in at?
99.2.
Well, it's a bit tight to move your stop there. I can't offer you any on that, other than keep the things about the best I can do. I can't really offer you more than that. It's a bit high to chase it, but anyway, you have done. No, criticizing after it doesn't help. But yeah, I'm just keeping my fingers crossed. I might be completely wrong, come with a smile, but I'm very nervous about the more upside. Very nervous about it. To me, the risk is the downside for me personally. Anyway, we'll see.
True, but it's already down 0.5% since the trading open. So, yeah. Maybe I must just take my profits and run.
Well, I can't make that call except to say, what would I do? I wouldn't be in there long. I wouldn't be in. I've been signed out. Oh no, one is a problem. Signed another device. That's the problem. I've been signed out on another device. No wonder you couldn't get in. So I'll do anything normal there. Just check me checks. Okay, I think I might be signed in the wrong bloody. Anyway, you're in now.
Yeah, Roger, I'm just admitting everybody. Don't worry.
Okay, thank you. I need the IT guy, Mr. De Beer. Thank you. Maybe I didn't change from the platform trading username. I don't know.
Yeah, the industry micro workshop. You shouldn't have started that one. You should have started the Zoom trading one. But don't worry.
Oh, shit. Should have changed over. Beg your pardon.
No problem.
Okay, so I'll change over afterwards, but the guys are still on. They didn't have any problems getting in, but I'll make sure that's in, because actually Mark Shearer, one of the regulars, is a good guy. I couldn't get in. I didn't know why. That might be the problem. So that's it. Yeah, that might be the issue. Okay, so what say, Jar, we just continue the moment, and at 5:30 we finish. Just change back to the JB, Jar JB12 one. That DB12 one, shall I? Oh, that must be good then. So I'll select. That's fine. Okay, good enough. No, sorry about that. I forgot to change it back because I signed in with some other system there for the 1 o'clock session. Okay, let's move on. Yeah, I wouldn't be in long, but I can't say get out and it shoots up. But you take your choice on that one. That's very different, of course. That's internet connection. Unfortunately, guys, just to go off the subject, that's one of the problems in the outlying areas. The interconnection is often a bit iffy, and like YouTube, Zoom does chow it a bit, and sometimes it's you do get a lot of buffering. It is a hassle. Okay, yeah, I don't know if you heard that, Mark. I think it was my fault there. I did a micro session at 1 o'clock. I'm on a different ID, and I think I didn't change it back for something. I'll do it after 5:30. The other guys have no problem coming in, but I think that's maybe why participants on the downside. So that's my fault not changing it back. I'll make damn sure after this session I'll change it back. But I don't want to knock everyone off and go back in again. Too much of a hassle. Okay. Oh no. Don't know his name. Somebody he just blows the account, he's upset. He went in on the NAS normal too big. on a small account. That's the whole idea of understanding this. You just sent me, it's a bit sorrowful. That's a pity, no. Just send me a WhatsApp saying is now what? Yeah, well, I mean, again, he went in the NAS, not understanding like you guys do, with, you shouldn't be going a 0.01, he went bigger than that, unfortunately. What's not going to mention names yet. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for him, and it was horrendously overexposed because he just didn't realize that. It's like trick pushing guys, but I like the account managers say to guys, please go to the trading room, you know, or at least look at the recording or something, because it's hectic and it's completely unnecessary, heartbreaking, in fact. Should never blow your account, never ever. And if you do, it's always overexposure and often incorrect stop losses, wrong volumes, wrong stops, or often no stops. Motor cars are a fantastic product, but driving correctly, it's dangerous. The only difference is it can kill you. This won't kill you, it will certainly piss you off. I think it does to a certain extent. Some head honcho of MTN saying it's cost them millions and millions. This backup stuff, which even that can fail sometimes. You know, so it's not good. Okay, going back. So you've done the Amazon thing. Brett's doing nicely, eh? Very nice. AUD USD. Holding there, so you modified, so you should be okay there. What was the other one? Just a quick recap, US dollar CAD. Be careful, like I say, particularly of this one, even more than the US dollar AUD one, because it's, as I say, that both could be badly affected or beneficially affected. But at the moment, it's just, yeah, not too bad. You've got enough meat on the bones to modify your stop. And of course, this is a nice one here, GBP JPY. Bouncing a little bit, but that's be it. Not a problem with a nice profit there. Yeah, make sure you're okay with that one. Good. Wonder what's going up. Maybe I'm wrong now. Maybe the news is expecting very good news. It's creeping up rather than keeping down. Okay, the 12-8 stop's been triggered. Go figure, I don't know. Maybe they're expecting Powell the miracle where they're coming about it. Somebody flashed a Powell Reserve and raised rates, dollars to rise. Yeah, but how do they know that? The dollar rising will have a negative effect on this. I don't know why it's doing that. Don't know. What do you want to do? Do you want to buy or short it? Are you with us? Sorry, Mark. I think it's probably I didn't change over whatever I was supposed to change over on the Zoom after 1 till 2 o'clock micro session I did today. You want to buy Brent? I'm not too keen on that. Brent, you want to buy it? Where do you want to put your stop loss and TP? For the record, I'm not keen. That ship sailed. Where do you want to put the stop? You can't put it down here, mate. Too far away. So where do you want to put your stop? For the record, I'm totally against this. You have to put the TP up there, maybe. That's not going to work. So you might have a tighter stop. Where do you want to put the stop? 73.5, okay. If you want to do it, it's up to you. You've heard what I said. You don't have to do that far. Maybe bring this down a bit, eh? Up to you, anyway. If you want to do it, that's your choice. Only 37 bucks a mic, I'll give you due, but who wants to lose 10 rand just for the sake of it? You might come right. I'm not sure if you want to do that. Dirk, I think it is. Someone else earlier on. Yeah, Turkey. If you want to do it, you can, but I'm not in favour of it. No, but that ship sailed. Enjoy the ride on board. Chasing it now. Well, your money. You take your chances. Yeah, I know it is a hassle. I've got the release keyboard here, so I can just tap away on that. Much easier. We've got WhatsApp on the screen here. Yes, that was what we saying, Vicky. Move to 74, absolutely. Yeah, modify your stop loss from Brent to 74, absolutely. RR for NAS. Okay, what do you want to do with the NAS? Apart from, well, just before PAL, it's up to you. I'm not keen. What do you want to do with it? Gerard? Yeah, I'm crying. I've got knocked out. Yeah. You want to sell it? All right. For PAL, it could knock you out, but I think 13,000 just about. Make it a wide one. Seriously wide one here. Maybe PAL proof at 13.1. TP, sorry, wrong way around. And TP can take it down here. That should do your job. 1150, 11,750. Maybe make it a bit tighter if you want. Always modify it down if you want. That'll still work. Yeah, 60 odd bucks a micro. I don't agree, Bondi. I'm just saying that. Brent, I think that ship sailed. Leave it for the moment. You know, you're chasing it, it's a bit high. I'm not saying it won't go higher, but the risk reward's not going to favour you. Yeah. There you are. If you want that one, there you are. Big too many people are smart in the way to shut up so much for some reason. Don't ask why, I don't know. No idea. It makes no sense to me at all. Also, got PAL coming out, so why would they do that? But who's pushing it up and why? Maybe there's something we don't know. Okay. Okay. I think it's a terrible trade personally, but I'm probably a bit wary now. And especially being knocked in the last time, probably a bit reluctant to go in again. But yeah, right at resistance. I don't see why it should go above 13,000. I don't know why, but stranger things have happened. And another thing is interesting as well. Gold's going up. That's the fear factor. Gold's going up. Why should the Nasdaq go up? Now it's gone to 1950. You get the idea? I'm more in favor of gold up, indices down. Simple as that.
But at least now the DXY went down slightly with the dollar going, the gold going up. So there's some correlation now starting.
A little bit, but it's only just done that just now. Remember the last couple of hours it went up, and just now, the last 7 minutes, decided to jump down for whatever reason. All I can do is that. So, sorry, Fanny, say again?
No, I agree with you. It's vice versa than what we used to.
Yeah. Well, the point is, it's suddenly come 7 minutes, unless it's, I don't know, maybe some big players are coming on board. The point is that what are the guys out there thinking at the moment? Are they thinking a big move down? Maybe they're preempting. I don't know. Maybe they've got handle of some likelihood or what's happening that we don't know about. I can only begin to guess on that. Trying to put my shoes on why they would suddenly do that, unless they've come up with some scheme that's going to rescue the economic climate out there. Not quite what it is, but well done if they have. I don't care if you're going short. We want our world economic climate to be better, clearly, in the bigger picture. But at the moment, I don't see it. And all the dollar's done is just taken off what it made the last couple of hours. It hasn't really done anything drastic, but it is low at 103. I'll give you that. But again, gold going up should be bad for the market. It's not good for it. I've been smacked on NASDAQ, leave it alone, but I'm not, to be honest with you, I'm not a bad idea yours, that, Mark. I get what I mean. I think far higher probability that's going to come off and go up. Your choice. And you got a decent stop as well, above 13 round figure 1,000. Going to take some economic bloody wonderfulness to push it there, in my opinion. Having Google. Certainly Google's gone up a lot. Microsoft. Well, strange, eh? Tesla's taking that 200? No, not yet. Netflix. No, it's coming off of it, and it's strange. What about your Baba? What about that? Very strange. When it's that strange, rather be a little bit circumspect, hey? Sorry, but you got that? I think just leave Brent alone, okay? And if you're in it, 74 stop. Good. Fed up by the CAD CHF. Went up, stopped us out, and look what happened there. Sold it short, stopped us out yesterday. This one we avoided. I don't quite know why. I tried to push that, and the guy didn't seem keen. When it's down here, actually, but the guy didn't seem keen. What about Japanese yen? We're selling it. I was actually we're selling it. Seem to try to recover. Okay. ZAR strengthening a bit. Interesting. Leave that alone, the ZAR, unless you're got enough money and you know what you're doing. All right. I think I've covered most things I normally cover. Don't think anything to add new to it. I read that piece out there earlier on about the major uncertainties going on out there, which is causing a lot of this sort of ridiculous volatility that's often is go figure, yeah. Oh, what about NGAS? Just looked at that. Yep, I'm going nowhere this one. If you want this one, sit tight for a while. Meta. Yeah. People looked at NVIDIA, whatever it's called. NV, what else is it called again? This one here. That's been going up. Some guys wanted to buy it. I was a bit unsure. It might be a bit overcooked the market or whatever, but anyone to buy it a couple of days or so ago would have been looking okay. I don't think anyone did though. Okay, it's not really much I can add at the moment. Still doing all right. No fireworks. Stop loss of interest. More on here, Mark. Protect yourself. The 3 trades we got out in profit, protect yourself, especially US dollar CAD number 1, then AUD USD number 2, and number 3 GBP JPY in that order. I suggest you protect all of them because they're all in profit. You're going to be highly fed up to get caught with your trousers down with something coming out later on. But let's take a fun bet, guys. Just take out, don't put money on it, just a bit of fun bet. Who thinks it's going to shoot up later? Who thinks it's going to, nothing's going to happen? And who thinks it's going to come off quite a bit? Interesting, eh? I'm going to put my fun Monopoly money on it, so it's going to come off quite a bit. What do you guys think?
No, I think the dollar is going to increase, so which means then the Dow and the Nas will come down, hopefully, with the shares.
Yeah, that's what I think. And I said mentioned earlier on, the guys out there think it's going to be some depreciation of the dollar before it was shooting up sharply up, and it seemed to be trying to come off a little bit, but not hanging around. Yeah. And remember, if gold goes up, that means the world out there prefers gold as safe haven instead of the US dollar. They're preferring gold to the fiat currency, which is the dollar, and that's why. So if the gold continues up, it means money's going into gold rather than to the US dollar. Don't blame me, Anna Marie. But I'm going to stick my head out as well. I see upside. We'll be short in the gold. I see upside. I thought if you want to take a punt at 1940, go for a buy. If you didn't want to take a punt, fair enough. It turned out it might have been a bad one. Actually, we could have done okay. But that being said, anything can happen later on. I haven't really much to add, actually. I think it all depends what's going to happen at 8 o'clock. Any speculation is just good theatre, good fun, good chit-chat over a beer at a table at a restaurant or whatever. But from a practical aspect, I think if you're going to do it, put some monopoly money on it. Now that'd be interesting, yeah. Then you'd be very much happier. Get rid of that problem you had earlier on. I get that, Mark. I'm going to tell you something here what I think, Mark. I don't think it'd be far off there. I don't know, 12,500. What's it now? No, I think it's a bit pushing your luck a bit there. But I think this time next year, I think you see gold above, way above 2,000, way above. Well, you'd be toast, of course. Yeah, that's right. I think you shorted or something. I think you'd be toast wrong way around, yeah. But yeah, I think there's so much out there. I think that's going to be gold's the name of the game, and yeah, what's it now? March, I reckon. Let's say March next year. This time next year, March. Okay. I think we're looking at way over 2,000. Personally, we'll see anyway. Can't make that for you, Mark. I'm not your nagging wife to tell you that, or your nagging trading mentor, or whatever you want to call me. To tell you that, but yeah, that's unfortunately that's in your capable hands. Maybe take some of it off the table. I don't know. You don't have to take the entire amount. Remember, you can part close. Remember that. Maybe take some off the table. If it, actually you did, it would certainly help the gold longs a bit. Eh? Yeah, then you got someone to blame. Yeah. Yeah, if you want, getting really, maybe just ease some off. I don't know how much you got for gold, but maybe close part of it. You know how to do that. Everybody here now knows how to close part position. Got a few minutes left, just about finished. All those, don't think any new comes out. So if anyone knows that and wants to move on, do suck all they want to do can. But I just want to make sure anybody out there, 0.1. If you want to maybe, yeah, no, if you maybe want to take 2 or 3 micros off. Remember, 0.1 is 10 micros. You might want to bank 2 or 3 of them if you want. Anybody not know how to partially close a trade? Not the entire amount. Anyone not know? Not if you do know. I'm expecting most of you do know. If you don't know, it takes me 2 minutes to show you how to do it. And it's important you do know. Anybody not know? Let me just tell me here and now. If you don't tell me, I assume you do know. So you all know, that's good news. Good, excellent. Okay, don't have much to add. Anything to add? You take the short, cut out the NAS. Good luck. Anyone to add anything? Any last minute questions, anything like that? Because I've run out for the moment. To add value. That's what we're trying to do here. Anyone want to point something out that I might have missed? Okay, no problem, Mark. Must just remind myself, must change over the password or whatever. I'll be username just now. So we'll have that problem again. Sorry about that, Mark. Okay, guys. Well, should we just wrap it up and catch you tomorrow morning with fingers crossed? Okay. All good with that?
All right. Thank you, Roger. Have a good evening and keep
Okay.
thumbs.
Okay. Thanks, and hold thumbs. Yeah.
We're all
Okay.
good, Mr. Rogers. It's been a
Thank
great
you.
day.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your encouragement. Thanks for support.